All right. Good evening, ladies and gents, ghouls and goblins, and welcome back to another hair-raising episode of Planet Dirty. I am your co-host, Brandon Tabato, and with me, as always, is the one and only Christian Hannah Hoare. Christian, get in here.
Dude, that was so quick. I thought you were going to go longer.
We're, of course, live from Planet CHH. Christian, how are you tonight?
I'm great, dude. I always love listening to your back.
You like that?
I like that people notice the pause right and like your story. That because I was screen recording that, so when it pops up for a second and I hurry up and swipe it.
Yeah.
People... I'm good, dude.
Oh, tonight we are talking about cosmic horror, the subgenre that's, it's less boo and it's more of like, what is the fundamental nature of reality and should we be terrified of it? Right. And, spoiler alert, we should be terrified of that. And for those of you that are like, new to the genre, I mean, imagine this. You've got your standard horror elements, dark and stormy nights, creaking old mansions, the standard. But instead of your run-of-the-mill serial killers or vampires, the true terror really comes from the beyond, the unfathomable, as we like to say. Right, Christian? I mean, I think it's really about realizing that in the grand cosmic scale, humanity may not be as important as we think it is. I mean, it's a little something to ponder the next time we look up at the stars at night. Cosmic horror is just horrifying to me. And it says here, if we look over here, the term cosmic horror was actually coined by the legendary H.P. Lovecraft himself, which makes perfect sense to me because cosmic horror, also known as Lovecraftian horror, right? Explores, it says here, this is a quote, it explores mind-bending tales of interdimensional deities and their petrifying effects on the human psyches. Stories that have thrilled and chilled audiences for decades and decades and decades. But I do want to note that while Lovecraftian horror and cosmic horror pretty much do go hand in hand, cosmic horror doesn't really have to exclusively be Lovecraftian horror, if that makes any sense.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I would say, buckle up, Planet Dirty Dwellers, because we are about to plunge headfirst into this cosmic horror nonsense. I am still a student of cosmic horror, so I am not the king of cosmic horror, unfortunately. Christian might actually be the secret king, but I think we'll get there. You know what I mean? And if I haven't touched on this yet, as you all know, this isn't just the cosmic show here. This is the Cosmic Brownies and Cosmic Horror show here. So tonight we have our boxes of Cosmic Brownies, and we're going to tear into these.
You got the XL!
I did. Look at that. That fat bitch box, man. Well, with that said, Christian, I think we should bring in our first guest, a man the world knows to his friends and family as Garrett, but to the rest of the world, he's known as the Rad Daddy, the man, the myth, the legend, the dude with ratitude, the proprietor, of all things rad, Mr. Born to be Rad himself. Where is he? This is fucking fantastic. There he is. Excellent.
What is up, boys? Look at
what
this.
Is going on,
Brandon? You know what? You are the Cosmic Prince, no doubt.
Cosmic Prince. Excellent.
Yes,
that's a little bit better than King. It gives me something to look forward to. Eventually obtaining.
But yeah, man. You know what? I love you guys so much that I'm gonna eat these for the first time in my whole life tonight.
The whole box.
The first time.
I'm not gonna eat the whole box, dude. I've never had these in my whole life. I have had the ones with the little like nuts on the top when I was a kid, because like they used to give those to us and like we get like hot lunch. It would always be like the brownie with like little nuts. It looked just like this damn thing. So hopefully it's the same. I mean, I haven't had it in years, but this is not part of the rad diet here. So see what I do for you guys? I'm part of this cosmic crusade right now.
Hell yeah,
we're getting fat together. We're getting sugar rush induced strokes together. So
with all these nicknames, everyone that I accumulate like 3 pounds of fat.
It's too good. I mean, without further ado, if you guys don't mind, I think we should welcome our next guest, our next and final guest, I believe. Known to the world as the dude who loves movies, or by his more notorious and feared nickname, simply the Dude. Am I right? A man who truly needs no introduction due to his expansive criminal record, his knack for setting shopping malls on fire, and his tendency to walk onto film sets without permission. I think we should introduce the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Cody from Dude Who Loves Movies. The best part of eating corn on the cob is when like shit sprays out of it and you hit somebody in the eye with the water. Cody, how are you? I think Cody's muted.
You son of a bitch! You ruined.
I am muted. You know what? I think I muted myself. I think I coughed and I was like, I saw that I was unmuted, so I muted myself. But what's up, guys? I'm glad to be here. Great introduction.
Oh, appreciate it. I think we need to get our preliminary brownies box shot. So everybody hold it and freeze in a comical pose.
What do we call that? The 5 second, 10 second pose down.
Yeah, I was just gonna keep it, Christian, as long as we could.
Brandon will go until somebody. Brandon is the guy that goes to Olive Garden, and when she goes, "Tell me when," he just sits there,
and he's got like a smile on his face, like,
and he's covered in shredded cheese.
You know what you should do? Every one of these, you should just get the Brandon picture and then like make like a collage and send it to all these companies and see if anybody will like sponsor him to be like a spokesperson.
Dude, that would be awesome.
Sure, we saw your video. We'd like to ask you to please stop using our product.
Now, Brandon, did you end up getting this?
I did. I got the Skittles one. It was the only one that Winn-Dixie had tonight. I didn't go to the. So Cody got the Starburst. What do you got, Garrett?
I got this one's called Orange Slice. I got a whole thing of them. Now, let me ask you this: does yours on the top say anything that says Beta Power by any chance on like the top lid?
Beta Male.
No.
Like if you go around like this edging here that doesn't say Beta Power anywhere on there.
Oh yeah, Beta Power. Yeah.
Oh hell yeah! All right, this.
Yeah, it does. Beta Power, no sugar. Yeah,
have you had this before, Brandon?
No, I have not.
All right, this is gonna make your skin feel like it's on fire. It's gonna be
a
interesting night.
Let's crack them open right now. Ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, crack.
I feel so left out.
Damn, Christian, he is left out.
Dude, what do you got, Christian?
I got the ghost.
It's ghost.
Oh, you should have cracked that open.
Crack the ghost.
Yeah, I'm cracking it.
And I like the Beta Power because it's beta alanine and it feels like my hair follicles are growing and stuff. I just love it, you know.
Well, you know what's crazy is I used to drink the powder for pre-workout, and I had to stop because it was making me itch. So I never had this. So we'll see.
I used to be obsessed with it was like a lime one, twisted lime, but they discontinued it. It really bummed me out.
This is pretty damn delicious. I'm pretty surprised. I'm trying all these new energy drinks lately.
I'll find one tomorrow. Fantastic. Watch, because I'm gonna go. I want to go pick up the firm tomorrow, and watch. I'll find one tomorrow. I'll do a taste test short.
Yeah, it's crazy. I almost got the Starburst one, or I'm sorry, the Skittles one yesterday. I was getting the brownies, and I came across that, and I was like, I don't know. Then I ended up getting a Rockstar or whatnot. And then Garrett today was like, hey man, you get a C4. All right, so I went to the store. So I went to the store closest to me, and it had the Starburst one. And I was like, I'll try that.
Amazing.
It's good though. I like it.
Brandon, before I let you take the helm, I just want to welcome. We have 88 people in here right now, and I'm sure more will trickle in. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you, Garrett, of course, and Cody for hopping on Planet Dirty with us. You guys are basically honorary members of the show, the Rad Dudes.
Rad Dudes.
I'm excited to talk this. This was Brandon's idea, guys. So Brandon's hosting tonight's show about cosmic horror. And of course, in the chat, I will be you guys dropping exactly. Give me some likes, like give me pity likes for God's sakes. But yeah, guys, as we're doing the show, drop movies and we'll bring them up. And Brandon will look through and he'll name some stuff that you guys mentioned too, and you guys will be a part of the show with us. So. Brandon, take it away, man.
All right. Well, before I take it away, you said something about Olive Garden. I have to bring this up. It was a very traumatic experience for me today at lunch at work. We went to Olive Garden for a simple little, soup, salad, breadsticks lunch. Cheap.
There will be no cosmic horror talk tonight.
Dude, wait, listen to me.
You really did go to Olive Garden today?
I did. I had 2 bowls of soup.
Holy
good. You had 2 bowls. Brandon, I bet you eat your soup like this. You just grab the bowl and go.
Did you say you got for the free stuff? Because isn't that all free when you order? The soup, salad, and
it is. It's supposed to come like endlessly, but I only had 2 bowls of soup. She only came to the table twice. I got my drink. I didn't get my drink refilled at all.
And you're a monster.
She only brought 2 things of breadsticks to the table, so I only had 5 breadsticks to myself. So I left there pretty pissed off. I almost complained to the manager. It was ridiculous.
Did you just take your free shit and walk out and say, my lunch is over?
I walked out still eating a breadstick, so I look like a fat fuck walking out of that place for sure today. It was bad. It was bad.
I have not been to Olive Garden. I don't even know if there's any left around me. I don't think I've been there in probably like 10 years.
I mean, it's still good, especially for the price point, but it's definitely not high quality dining. You know what I mean? But then again, it's not really supposed to be, but it fills you up. You know,
I like it.
But if I'm paying for soup, salad, and breadsticks, I want more than 5 breadsticks and 2 bowls of soup. You know what I mean? I need like 3 bowls of soup minimum, and like 7 breadsticks. You know?
Do you know what I love when you did like
so
was
cosmic.
it Instagram that you did where you showed like your like work lunch or whatever? We had the different like drinks. Shit. Oh, was that in the? That in a group? Was that in a group chat? I don't remember. Where I saw that picture.
I think that was on TikTok. Yeah.
Oh no.
That's pretty much daily too, man. So I'm looking at like maybe 40 years old tops, and then it's lights out, unless I change my hat.
It's funny. I'll ask Brandon. How you feeling today, dude? Old and folded.
Come on, dude.
I'm looking for a pretty good, brother.
I gotta hit the gym. It's the office job, dude. I gotta get to a place where I'm moving around.
It's a silent killer, man.
By the way, Brandon, the next Planet Dirty is going to be the ice cream unlimited episode.
Dude, it's going to be mint chocolate chip all day. I'm going to have a stroke on camera.
Yo, we should do it. We should do an ice cream social.
Dude, we really should. I'll live stream from my ice cream shop and like live stream myself getting trespassed and everything.
We'll do social horror. Is that what we'll do?
Oh, that'd be perfect. That'd be absolutely perfect.
Man. Brilliant idea. Oh man.
I think before we dive in, we should really try to understand what cosmic horror is exactly, both for our sakes and the audience. So if you'll indulge me a bit here, I'll read a passage that I found today that really sums up what cosmic horror is. Because, I mean, let's be honest, it's not really a subgenre that's directly labeled these days. Like you see supernatural horror, you see psychological horror, you see stuff like that, but you never really see cosmic horror, even on stuff like The Void, which I believe is absolutely cosmic horror. Even I've only seen bits and pieces of that movie, but I think that's pretty much called supernatural horror when it should be called cosmic. So maybe there's a reason for that, which we'll explore later. But this says here, and I quote, "Cosmic horror is a specialized subgenre of horror literature and film that deeply explores the terror that stems from the unknown and the incomprehensible. Rather than focusing on the physical and tangible elements of fear, such as gore or graphic violence, cosmic horror is more concerned with the profound psychological dread that comes from the realization of our insignificance in the vast, often indifferent universe. This genre often grapples with themes of existential dread, nihilism, and the insignificance of human existence in the grand cosmic scale, emphasizing humanity's struggle to comprehend that which is beyond its understanding. These are not monsters to be fought and vanquished, but rather vast, impersonal forces beyond human comprehension, the realization of which can lead to madness and despair." Which to me sounds absolutely terrifying, and there's totally so many movies I can name off the top of my head. Cody, I loved you in Cocaine Bear. Dude, this is fucking sweet.
Is he saying I'm the bear? Because I've not seen that movie yet. So I'm assuming it's the bear, and I'm all for it.
Hey, Cody, that's my buddy John. Me and John have a warped sense of humor, but that's a compliment from him. John's a great dude.
Oh man, I've got a great sense of humor. So
thank you, Johnny, so much for that $20 super.
Okay,
Thanks,
I didn't notice, but how long was that thing up there as I was rambling on?
I just pulled it up. I was paying attention. I saw Cody was kind of snoozing off. That might have been where the Cocaine Bear joke came from. Brandon, I'm impressed tonight. You thank you very much, Johnny. I really appreciate that.
Yep.
I'm very impressed with you tonight, Brandon.
Good, I'm glad because I'm overwhelmed with anxiety and existential dread right now. So
I'd like to start us off with a movie tonight, guys. I'd like to start us off with Halloween 2. No, for real. I would like to start us off if that's fine.
Yes.
This is one of my all-time favorite movies, and this has to fall under this category, but it's a recent movie called The Void. I'm sure you guys have seen that. Garrett's reaching. Yeah.
Nice.
Like that, Garrett. Tell me that movie doesn't need like a really nice second set release or something.
It does. It's one of those. It's a really cool movie that, like you said, it's more current. And I don't watch a lot of current stuff, but that one caught my attention for sure when it came out.
Yeah. And it's like it starts out as this cult movie, then it turns into The Thing, and then it turns into like Hellraiser 2. It's incredible. It's fairly recent. I think it's like 2015 or 16, and it was a semi big deal when it came out. I remember Cavity Colors did a shirt for it and stuff, and yeah, what a hell of a movie that it's got. I don't know if it's got how much CGI is in it, but there's like this disgusting blob monster thing in the hospital, and it's just super suspenseful, and the ending is just fucking wild. It is over the top. I mean, that's the definition of cosmic to me. You know, it's otherworldly and it's in my top 20 favorite horror movies. If and when I ever make that list, I fell in love with it. I thought it was one of the best horror films I'd seen in a very long time. And I try to tell everybody I can to see that movie. I have that Blu-ray that Garrett has, and it's a shame. It needs something really nice. I need 4K scan. I want interviews. I want a poster. It's got a great name too. Simple, The Void. It's the real deal. I think I really do think it's a 4.5-star horror film. It's just the whole total package. And in terms of cosmic horror, it's fucking money. It's one of my favorites.
I've only ever seen bits and pieces of that, and I meant to watch it before the stream, but I have seen the scene that takes place. I think it's in the hospital when there's somebody chained to a bed or something, and it's already mutating.
Yeah,
it's a horrifying scene, and it really gives you like that creepy, unknowable, horror vibe that I think cosmic horror gives you. But I feel like that movie's probably not even labeled cosmic horror. It's probably labeled like supernatural. Am I right, or something like that? Or elevated horror. Excuse me.
It's probably called elevated horror. I bet. Yeah, but it doesn't say anything on there. But
if you saw it though, Brandon, I guarantee you would lean to cosmic. By the end of the movie, it's just like holy shit. So, I mean, shit comes out of the sky.
Well,
you know
right.
I mean?
Piggybacking on that, I'm sure you guys have seen this one because this was a pretty big deal in 2020, and this guy had like 2 movies that came in around the same time. This one I think would kind of fall in this cosmic horror, and that's Color in the Sky with
Color Out of Space.
Color Out of Space. Sorry, Color Out of Space with Nicolas Cage. It's a Lovecraft movie from 2020. Very, very cool. It's got like that neon aesthetic. There's a lot of like stars, and it's really like The Thing in a way as well. And it's really, really cool. It's got like gore, it's got slime, it's got mutations, and it's an awesome movie. I don't know if you guys have checked this one out yet.
Yes, Die Hard.
I have not. I've heard nothing but good things about that film, though.
It's
nowhere on streaming. Yeah.
I think the other version of that movie was from the 80s called Cursed. And then Cursed had a couple sequels.
Oh, Curse. Yeah. With
Curse.
That's a great movie too. Curse is a really good movie. I'm trying to think of the actor's name. There was a young kid. Will Wheaton. Yes. That was a really cool movie. It took place in like a farmhouse or whatever. On a farm or something. That's an awesome movie for sure.
Yeah, and he like refuses to sign stuff for that, doesn't he?
Does he really? Yeah. I had no idea.
I believe so, yeah.
Which is interesting. Because I would have probably brought something from that to get him signed if I ever met him. So yeah, that's wild to know.
Yeah, it was either that or he just doesn't like to sign it because it brings up bad memories.
I was about to ask for permission, Brandon.
Oh, we're gonna dive into our first one.
Get your ASMR going too. I'm gonna get 2 out for myself.
2? You're gonna double fist it?
I'm gonna save the rest for the week for a rainy day.
Hey, so I was telling Brandon this. I didn't realize this till I was listening to a podcast, and the cosmic brownies. It's not supposed to be like space. It's supposed to be mimicking that old nighttime cosmic bowling. That's the theme of these brownies.
Yeah, that's wild.
Is cosmic bowling kind of cosmic horror, friend?
It can be. I mean, if the wrong kind of crowd is there and they're drunk, it's definitely cosmic horror.
So I want a video of you at cosmic bowling, and you can be like the cosmic king.
No, we also threw out the joke of possibly streaming from a bowling alley. Like, we should all go to our respective bowling alleys, find a way to stream from there with permission, and we'll have the bowling alley stream. It'll be fucking fantastic.
And
so cosmic horror too. We got to do the cosmic bowling, right?
Garrett, what do you think? It's all right.
These are bomb.
These are smaller than I thought, or than I remember.
They're chewier than I remember.
What if Garrett turns out like Ben Stiller from Dodgeball? And every time you talk to him, he's eating cosmic brownies.
I say, fucking Chuck, dirty. Yeah. fucking Tabano vision.
His fucking life is just ruined from this fucking stream.
All right, so we got Color Out of Space. I loved. I think that's one of Nick's best. I don't know if you call it a renaissance of what he's doing right now. This horror renaissance he has, but Color Out of Space I thought was great. And is it true that alpacas are really expensive? Because like in the movie, he raises alpacas, and he made it like it was a big deal. They just look. They look like llamas or something. But dude, that's another like cosmic / body horror. But Color Out of Space I loved it.
I gotta see it. What about his film Mandy? Is that anything cosmic horrorish at all? Like psychedelic, weird, otherworldly? Because it doesn't have to be like outer space necessarily kind of stuff. Just like beyond our, Suspiria kind of shit could be considered cosmic horror, I think.
I believe it is.
I do too. I think Mandy could fit right in that, yeah.
Because the only thing I've really seen from his recent renaissance, I've seen Pig, which I enjoyed, but it wasn't as good as I had heard it was. And I saw the Willy's Wonderland, which I enjoyed a lot.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how the Five Nights at Freddy's movie stacks up. And this isn't cosmic horror, but I have to ask if you guys have seen the other one. What is that other movie based on Five Nights at Freddy's, sort of, that's not Willy's Wonderland? There's a different one.
Banana Splits movie?
That one. Is that a good horror movie?
It's all right. I thought it was okay. At the time it was different, and that was I saw that before I saw Willy's Wonderland. So as far as I remember, it was pretty cool because it was just nothing like I've ever seen before.
I saw that was the original script for Five Nights at Freddy, but
oh really?
Yeah, that Warner Brothers had, but then the creator said, I don't like this, and took it somewhere else.
Wow.
And then Warner Brothers ended up just making their own movie, and they got Banana
right.
Splits.
I agree with Nuclear. Pig is one of my favorite Nick Cage movies I've ever seen. It's not cosmic horror though; it's about a fucking pig. I'm just saying, but it's really good.
What's the better film though, Banana Splits or Willy's Wonderland? What would you say?
I've only seen Willy's Wonderland, and I would say Willy's Wonderland just because you have Nicolas Cage.
I think they're both pretty damn good.
I
thought I was going to hate Banana Splits.
Yeah, because Nicolas Cage is in that role. He doesn't really say much or anything like that, which I guess is fine. But I don't know. I think they're pretty even in their own way.
One debuted on the Sci-Fi Channel. The Banana Splits movie did. But it was like the first time because Banana Splits was like a kids show from like the 70s. So it was, I guess that was pretty cool to see that come out.
Yeah. So I was on a forum, I guess, yesterday trying to figure out if the Alien franchise, which is one of my favorite horror franchises of all time.
It's all right.
If that really counted as cosmic horror, because like at a base level, it takes place in outer space and they're horror movies pretty much, right? But there were these two guys arguing in this forum. I forgot what forum it was, back and forth.
I didn't even realize it was forums anymore.
Oh yeah, a huge forum, back and forth about whether those movies they weren't saying cosmic horror, but they were saying some other phrase. And he brought up a good point about the first Alien, where the first Alien was more of a he might have actually used the term elevated horror, which I disagree with. But I feel like if those movies are cosmic horror, it would be the first one. Not because there's otherworldly things happening in it, but because we don't know anything about the space jockey or the eggs or where the creature comes from. So you really get the sense of mystery and interdimensional dread, if you will.
Right.
That by the time Aliens comes out, it's not destroyed, but it's not as indirect. You know what I mean? So on a base level, I would say Alien is cosmic horror. In the same way, I would say maybe Stephen King's It is cosmic horror. Like I haven't read the book, but have you guys read the book? Any of you guys?
Sure.
I believe there's a quote in that book where they say something like Pennywise is from the void beyond space.
Right.
And that one phrase scares the crap out of me because that like says everything that cosmic horror is. It's unknowable. It's ancient. It's a theory. It's interdimensional, otherworldly, all that kind of stuff.
What about a movie like Jacob's Ladder, like the original one? Would that be?
I don't know.
Horror?
That's a good question. I feel like that would be more psychological horror, but I feel like since the cosmic horror genre, it's like blends. I feel like it's probably both.
So is it not so much just outer space, but it's just like more of an unknown factor, outside element that you can't really explain kind of thing?
I think so. Like beyond our understanding or our direct understanding. Like, again, I haven't read Lovecraft's books, But I know like Cthulhu, for example, it's a creature that's beyond our understanding. Like his goals and his reasonings are beyond our comprehension as human beings, which to me is absolutely horrifying.
I pulled this one because I was like, maybe this can count.
Phantasm.
I feel like that would absolutely be cosmic horror.
1000%
for sure.
I would agree with that.
Hell yeah.
Anything.
Great franchise.
Is that the best Phantasm though?
The first one?
Yeah,
I think it is. Yeah,
I like part 3. I'm really partial to 3.
3 is interesting
I know
because
that-
I like. Nobody likes 3. I think nobody likes 3 for some reason, but I think 3's cool. 3's kind of cool.
I'm a part 2 guy.
2's great.
You know,
That's the only one I remember is part 2.
well, that's the only one that almost makes sense too. I mean, when you think about it,
I like Ravager, so I can't even talk. I think all 5 movies are pretty good. Like I legitimately enjoy Ravager. I'm not even like trolling when I say that shit. I think Ravager's a fun movie. If they had just put a layer of film grain over it, I think it would have made it 10 times better for a lot of people because it looked too college film
you son of a
production.
bitch.
Yeah, there is. Yep. Dude, I
read that
totally
in his-
agree.
I read that in his voice.
But
Dude.
yeah, I mean, I think Phantasm's just one of those franchises that gets overlooked. That it's pretty freaking great from front to back. Even 4, where it's like it was kind of thrown together with like footage from part 1 and all that stuff. Like it just works. Like him driving down the street basically the whole time with all this like a lot of that footage of part 4 was deleted scenes that they never used. Hell yeah,
That's awesome.
For part 1, which is really really cool.
Yeah, I still have the Fangoria. That movie came out in 98, right? Phantasm 4.
Late 90s.
Oh man, yeah, it was. It's funny because I felt like it was earlier, but wow, all right.
Yeah, I had that Fangoria with him on the cover of the Tall Man in blue light with the Oblivion at the top. It's a sweet looking magazine cover.
Wasn't there one that came out in like 2005 and he Angus just did the voiceover in it? Or am I wrong? And Mike came back, or is that
that's Oblivion?
Oh, Oblivion, okay.
Yeah.
And that was 98, I thought. Maybe it was later than that. I thought it was 98. I could be wrong though.
I am probably 110% wrong, so
I love that Cody's just leaned into it. Like it does look like he's sitting on his toilet.
Imagine it just like it burns, and all of a sudden you just see like this faucet behind him.
Oh, Brandon, this is completely kind of throwing a wrench into things. But I'm looking at Cody's poster. Is Terrifier cosmic? Like
I have no
Terrifier
idea.
2? Do you know what that clown is?
I would say Terrifier 2 towards the end would be.
I mean, it's like I don't know what
Because of like the
thing is.
weird otherworldly connections and shit, like she has to Tarf the clown. Is that what you're talking about?
I mean, I explain that clown to me. What is it?
It's getting into some weird stuff, like the last like hour of that movie, or like maybe the last half an hour before it gets to Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Jericho looked like shit in that movie. That's when he was still bloated.
He was like eating the Jello or whatever.
Start my night on Monday.
Yeah, I actually really liked him in there, man.
Me too. I love Jericho.
I know it's off topic, but I can't express to you guys how much I love Terrifier 2. Like I think that's probably my favorite horror movie last year. Besides The Black Phone, I think Terrifier 2 is it.
Oh, you did like that one a lot.
The Black Phone was just hardcore.
Do you know what's interesting? Talking about Lovecraft is he was born in my where I live.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah. So they do like a big Lovecraft fest here every year. It's pretty cool.
Have you guys read any of the Lovecraft novels or anything like that?
No.
I keep meaning to. I've heard nothing but good things about that stuff. I really want to dive into it, but like, they seem so hard to read's the wrong phrase, but like I feel like once you get into them, you're not going to be able to stop. I don't want to dedicate that much time to reading all that shit. He has like what 50 books or something like that.
Yeah, but I mean, if you get his movie collection, you've got quite a bit of stuff to watch. Like I just got that Necronomicon or whatever. That thing was awesome, and I had not seen that since the VHS days. And there's like a Blu-ray out right now that looks fantastic, and it's one I hadn't seen in like 30 years. And when I got it, I was like, oh shit, this movie's awesome. So I definitely want to check out.
And speaking of Lovecraft, I'm not sure if this even counts as cosmic horror, but Reanimator. Would you guys consider that cosmic horror or not really?
I brought it out. I can see elements of that for sure in there. Yeah, definitely.
I always try to look out for that edition.
This was the classic OG. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a Blu-ray?
No, it's like an old DVD. This was before Anchor Bay did that big box set or whatever that I did a show on. This was like the
nice
first one. This was from Elite Entertainment. Yeah,
it's like highlighter yellow. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like it's Lovecraft. So I almost feel like by definition, dude, that's
that's pretty sick, dude.
The case is like The Crow. Do you remember The Crow on DVD came in that?
Had like that thick case. Oh,
yeah.
Thank you, Mickey B. Just wanted to stop in and say, hey, what's up, guys? Before getting back to work, I'll check you guys on the replay. Thank you very much, Mickey B. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the support.
Oh, I see people really want to talk about this abandoned school still.
Oh yeah. Christian's promised to go there and film a vlog of it. Dude. So,
no,
I keep seeing it pop through the comments. Abandoned school.
The chat is talking about a lot of stuff I want to talk about, but I mean, Cody, have you named anything for us yet, or have we kind of just every time we get to you, I kind of skip over you?
No, it's all right. I was thinking, what about Fire in the Sky?
Ooh,
like
scary.
That. Yeah, dude, that movie freaked me out, and I saw it when I was like older. Like, I was like 28 when I saw that. And it freaked me out, and I'm 2 hours away from that where it happened.
Yeah, dude, you're gonna do a film, like a video where you go and like explore where it happened.
You never see me again.
That movie still creeps me out.
I become Cocaine Bear.
Well, that's the whole thing right there. You go into the woods and all of a sudden you like vanish, and then like you in a bear suit, you come out.
Look, who is that? Just running across the street like I'm Sasquatch. Powder all over my face.
Or you just do you like kind of walking across like the video of like Bigfoot or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I do want to get to some more like Stephen King stuff. Oh, sorry, Garrett. Go ahead. I think I cut you off.
No, I was just going to agree with him in the sense that Fire in the Sky freaked me out. I mean, I was a little kid when I saw that in like the 90s, and that stuck with me forever. It almost seemed like an elevated X-Files.
Yeah, you know, that surgery scene was so gross and so intense. I feel like that fucked up the whole generation of kids.
What was the other movie that just came out on Scream Factory or Shout Factory with I want to say Christopher Walken was in it. It was the alien movie.
That's a great one. That's called Communion.
Yes,
that's a great movie too. Yeah,
yeah.
They probe him.
Yeah,
yeah. I feel like Fire in the Sky could absolutely be cosmic horror for sure, because it's not just aliens. It's like it's psychological horror. It's cosmic horror. It's unknowable horror.
Yeah,
it's. A
I don't.
Good
I don't.
movie.
I'll put myself out there. I believe that shit happened. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
I mean, the universe is big and vast. I don't think we could really say that we're the only people out there, right?
I agree with that comment for sure. I don't think we're the only people out there. No way. It's so huge. It's got to be something else out there.
Exactly. Yeah. I really want to dive into some Stephen King stuff, and I'm seeing a lot of good suggestions in the chat too, Christian. But I want to ask you guys about this franchise beforehand. Do you guys consider like maybe just the first two, but the Hellraiser franchise to me is very cosmic horror, interdimensional. They go to hell. Leviathan is absolutely Lovecraftian in nature to me because we don't really know his intentions or what he wants or what he's really doing. We can kind of see what the Cenobites are doing and what their motives are and stuff, but like Leviathan, that whole concept screams cosmic horror to me. What do you guys think about that?
I can agree with that.
Yep,
definitely. To me, there's always something pseudo science fiction about Hellraiser anyway.
Yeah.
To me, they all kind of, I don't know what it is. Like they all kind of had this alien look, right? The white face. Just weird out. They look like they come off of some kind of like demonic spaceship. And part two for sure. You can almost 3 gets weird at the end. Like one of them has like a clock in his head.
Yeah, throwing CDs and shit.
You know, definitely part two for sure.
Yeah, and that movie is such an epic in and of itself. But Leviathan and the whole labyrinth and stuff like that screams. It's almost straight Lovecraftian horror, if I can say that. You know what I mean? Like that screams that subgenre.
Yeah.
It is weird that a lot of stuff's not labeled cosmic horror. It's labeled psychological horror, that kind of stuff. It's just weird to me.
Yeah, like Guillermo del Toro, like all of his movies, I feel like those would be considered cosmic because they're all like they're so like strange and in another world, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Christian, what were you wanting to bring up from the chat? You said you saw a lot of good suggestions too.
Well, Hellraiser is one, and a lot of people were bringing up It's in my top 5 John Carpenter films.
Mm.
2 of them, In the Mouth of Madness, and
Right.
a lot of people were actually bringing up. I don't know that I agree, because to me it's more just like religious. But I mean, Prince of Darkness is like my 3rd favorite he's ever done.
I could see Prince of Darkness, and I could see Mouth of Madness, and like you said, those are 2 of my favorite Carpenter movies. And for some reason, I always feel like Mouth of Madness kind of gets like a bad rap for some reason. I think that movie is freaking fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, especially, what was that, 94, 95, and I always thought that was a Lovecraft movie. Turns out it's not, but it feels so much like it, But I definitely see it for In the Mouth of Madness, and it's not that I want to disagree about Prince, because believe me, that's my 3rd favorite. I am a diehard Prince of Darkness fan.
Yeah,
I don't know. For me, I kept thinking to myself, isn't that just kind of more like a heaven and hell kind of thing?
but
I guess you could argue that's otherworldly.
I feel like that would be absolutely cosmic horror, maybe even more so than Mouth of Madness, because it sort of plays into the same thing. Well, in my opinion, of like, and might sound stupid off the top of my head, but Zombie 2, like we know it's zombies, they're on an island, there's voodoo going on, but that in and of itself is beyond our understanding on any kind of, direct level. So I feel like because those zombies aren't a product of chemicals or science, it makes them horrifyingly supernatural, and I guess you could use the word cosmic, in and of itself for that.
Yeah, I mean, there was some bizarre stuff in Prince that that movie, god damn it, I always tell people, to me it's not close. That's one of his best movies. Like when there's like that part where they're like, whatever it is, if it's the devil or whatnot, when it's transferring from person to person, where it does this weird thing where somebody hovers over them and they like projectile like spit out this like fluid into the other one's mouth. But the best scene in Prince of Darkness, this is so creepy to me, is the shot that John sets up outside of the building of the church, and it's black, pitch black, but you see the guy in the suit and he just starts turning into beetles, and it's just disgusting. God, I love that. I love that scene so much.
I love that movie. Yeah. I agree. That movie is so good. And I knew the first time I saw that I was really intrigued by it. Like with that score at the beginning where it plays for like 20 minutes through the whole beginning with that like boom, boom, boom. And it's just like very subtle. And it goes through like the whole, and it's like leading up to everything, but it's just so cool that it doesn't stop. It goes from like the second this thing opens to the second something crazy happens. You got that subtle like score going on through the background. You never see something like that. It's almost like it's building to something. And it was just really kind of cool. I had never heard that before, where they just leave a score in there very subtly for that long through a movie until things start hitting the fan. So
yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Cody, any thoughts on Prince?
Yeah, I like Prince of Darkness. I was wondering, the dark half, what, or is that I've never seen that, but is that, I get those confused with In the Mouth of Madness, even though I know I've seen them in The Mouth of Madness, and I like that movie. It's just been a while.
Similar posters.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like, what is that movie about? Isn't he like a writer too, or?
Yeah, and then he has like I'm trying to think, is it split personality or is it a twin or something? I think it's a split personality disorder. I believe that.
Yeah,
I just
remember the end. Okay, yeah, and I just remember the ending when the like bats take him away, takes his bad counterpart away.
Yeah. Let me catch this real quick, Brandon. Ricky Hogan, excuse me.
Hogan.
I don't have my glasses on. I apologize. With a $19.99 super chat. That's super generous. Just showing a little support for the Planet CHH channel. New subscriber here. I'm really grateful for that, Ricky. I really appreciate it. And welcome to my channel, man. I'm humbled. Check out my friend's channel. Garrett's is Born to Be Rad if you don't know him. Cody is the dude who loves movies. And then Brandon is Tabata Vision, man. So thank you so much, Ricky. I really appreciate it, man. Cheers. Hell yeah. Yeah, Prince of Darkness is the GOAT. I like Prince more than In the Mouth of Madness, but Garrett, like on the flip side, I felt like when In the Mouth of Madness came out on Blu-ray, all of a sudden it was the best John Carpenter movie ever. That's how I felt when it came out. Because to me it was, and I feel like that happens a lot with Scream Factory titles, but I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, this is his best movie. And I don't necessarily disagree with it, but
yeah, I got a little bit of love, but for a long time it was one that people were like, "Oh, that's the worst of his library," and I was like, "What?" Like, I just think the whole idea with the author type thing, almost like a Stephen King, and it's starting to come to life. And do you like Sutter Kane? And obviously you had Vigo. He was in it, right? Was that Vigo that was in this?
That was let me see.
The main guy at the end, that was Vigo from Ghostbusters too, right?
Ghostbusters.
It might have been if he lost weight. That was him. I always thought for a second that was Cronenberg. Cronenberg pops up and shit.
He kind of looks similar, actually.
Vigo.
Yeah,
we're like a buzzing to flies today. You like Janosch?
Let me see. I'm looking it up. Dude, David Warner was in everything.
Chris 8 has a killer comment in here. You gotta check it.
Dude, and Julie Carmen's in that too. I always forget she's in that, but God, she's beautiful. Somebody brought something up that was absolutely perfect. Justin Smith, The Possession.
Dude, that movie is like
holy shit.
It's one of the wackiest, like freakiest things I've ever seen in my life. It's almost like a hard to watch because it's just so freaking bonkers. And to be honest, I don't even have a nice edition of that. I have it on DVD, and it came out in all these different editions, like a cut version, an extended version. And I think the version I have is like that blue one that I think Mondo put out or something. I'm sure Christian has it. That's probably what he's going to dig out right now. But I need a nice version of this damn thing because this movie is freaking wild. If you guys haven't seen it, show of
hands in the chat. Give me a thumbs up or a thumb. If you've seen it, thumbs up, thumbs down. If you haven't seen it, have you two guys seen Possession?
I have not.
You are both losers because this is one of the only movies where people were like, you will not be the same after you see this. And I'm always just like, oh,
really?
This movie is fucking disturbing.
It's Sam Neill again. We were just talking about him.
I'll hold it back so you don't.
See that's the night. That's the good edition. I don't know why I never got that.
Wow.
Like I don't know if I missed it. It might be valuable now.
Is that the movie where the girl like gets assaulted by a ghost?
Kind of.
The Entity.
Oh, the Entity. That's what I'm thinking of.
Love the
Entity. That's crazy.
But you know what? The Entity, as I get older and watch that, I'm like, this is fucking horrifying. Like, when I watched it as like a 20-year-old or whatever, I was like, oh yeah, like look at this is a cool movie. And also I watch it now and I'm like, this is like the worst thing I've ever seen. Like, it's freaking brutal, dude. Like, it's hard to watch, and it's like she's getting assaulted by a ghost, and it's like it's so awful that it's like I can't even know how it worked. Like that they filmed it so great, and you're like, dude, I'm getting sick to my stomach just watching this.
This is how much of a loser I am. I bought that from Scream Factory because it was a collector's edition, and I thought the artwork on it was so bland, and I was like, oh, I'll watch this later, and I didn't watch it until I was watching those horror documentaries, In Search of Darkness 2, and they showed clips of it, and I was like, I am an idiot. What is wrong with me? And so I watched it immediately. And dude, that movie is absolutely incredible. It does not play around. No. The Entity.
Oh, the Entity.
Possession is. So I don't know how Garrett feels. So this movie, I'm not going to spoil the story. I'll just tell you some parts in it. There is this alien monster thing that does horrible things to the lead actress, right? But the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in a movie takes place in The Possession. The main actress, and she's beautiful, this woman. She is in this creepy looking alley, almost looks like a subway, and she's got grocery bags, and she has a mental breakdown in this seedy alley, and she's got eggs and milk in her carts and bags, and she's literally just screaming uncontrollably and slamming these grocery bags against the wall, and the eggs are spilling out, and she's covered in milk and food and crap. And it's, for some reason, this scene just it's traumatizing to me. It's disgusting. And I know it sounds weird, and it almost sounds like it's probably silly, but if you see it, the way it's shot, it sticks with you. You will anybody that's seen it knows what I'm talking about. It just stays in your brain. There's something so bizarre and just uncomfortable about that scene.
Now, do you remember? I know we don't want to get into it, but do you remember why that happened? Was it something where she was starting to realize, like, what was she realizing, like, what was happening to her, and like how she was going back and all this stuff, and realizing like this was just all messed up? And...
Yeah, I feel like that was, again, I'd have to watch the movie because it's one of those movies where it's not an American made film. but they're talking in American, and like there's this really funny dialogue between the guy and then Sam Neill when they're arguing over the girl. And like I can't get into it. I really don't want to spoil it,
but there's some definitely jaw-dropping scenes in that movie.
I'm telling you, like, you guys need to make a point to watch it instantly.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
There was a movie called Possession that came out like 6-7 years ago with the dude who plays Negan. Is that a remake of that movie by chance, or just the same name?
That's that Possession I believe that you're talking about is a exorcism movie, and it's actually if it's the one I'm thinking of, it's actually not bad. It's actually one of the better Exorcist style ripoff movies I think I've ever seen. Yeah. Is it got a girl on the front by any chance? Are you looking at a poster or something?
And like the hands coming out of the throat.
Let me see. The guy who played Negan's in it. What the hell is that guy's name? 2000.
Oh yeah,
Jeffrey.
2009. Oh, it's pretty old now. 2009. Jesus. Yeah, the poster is a girl's face, and there's like a silhouette.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty cool movie if anybody hasn't seen it. It's a lot better than I think people really remember it for. I think it's really good. And another movie, and this isn't cosmic horror, but just kind of along the same lines of like movies that came out around that time that I feel like was really good, but people never talk about, was a movie called Lights Out.
I remember
it's not one that I even thought I would ever be into. It doesn't really feel like my type of movie. But when I saw that, I was like, wow, this was a pretty cool movie. I don't know if you've seen it, Christian.
I did. I'll be totally honest with you. I thought that the short on Facebook was way better than the movie.
Oh, yeah, the short was...
But I think we talked about this.
I don't think I ever saw the short. I don't think I ever seen it.
This movie literally started out as this little clip. Cody knows what I'm talking about. It was this clip of this woman going to bed. And then I'm going to get to your super chat in just a second, Hakeem. It was this woman turning off her lights as she's going to bed, and she's shutting off the hall light, and you see a figure. She turns it back on. It was like it went viral on Facebook.
Oh, you know what? I do remember
that. Shit out of me.
It was good. Yeah.
And I thought the movie, not that it was, I guess I don't think it was bad, but I was just like, fuck, man. That short had me on the edge of my seat.
It worked better as a short.
I love the short.
Well, you know what else? I'm like a big fan. I'm in love with like Teresa Palmer, right? Yeah. So of course, like that was like a big draw for me to go see it because I was like, oh man, I love her. So
I saw it because she was in it, but I did
look freaking fantastic in that movie. But no, I thought it was pretty good. And I always get it confused, not that movie, but remember when those like the shorts were turning into movies? So like Mama was a short, right? And then that became a movie. So I kind of forget like which shorts are the ones. But I think we talked about this before, and I know it's off topic, but remember the guy that used to, in like the mid 2000s, was putting out all these shorts, and they were like the scariest shit, and everybody was like, dude, this guy's going to make a movie. It's going to be freaking insane. Was it Drew Daywalt was his name, I think? Do you guys remember all that?
No.
Did he ever make a movie?
I don't think so. I think that was his name, but if you look up a short, maybe we can do it before we get off because it is pretty cool. It's like, I'm trying to think of the name of it, but it was like a guy laying in bed with like a woman, and he was talking to her. It was like his wife. I don't know what if you said the names of his shorts, I could tell you exactly which one it was called.
I found Drew Daywalt.
Was that his name? Maybe.
Well, it says this guy is an author and a filmmaker, but the only thing I'm seeing is The Day the Crayons Quit and the sequel, The Day the Crayons Came Home. So I feel like this is oh wait, no, here it is. Check it out, Garrett. Also known for writing scripts for American television and creating a number of short horror films released on the internet. So this is the same dude.
What was is there different names for the shorts? I don't know if you pull it up if you'd get.
It's not on his Wikipedia. It's on his, let me see if it's on his IMDb page. There is so let me go back to 2008. There's one called Creep.
Yep, not
in
that
2008.
One,
there's one called Cleansed. There's one called Mockingbird. Camera Obscura. The Kindred is one of them. My Name is Kris Kringle, The Closet, Spoon, The Many Doors of Albert Whale. I haven't seen any of these, I don't think. Cart Driver, The Old Chair.
I think The Kindred is an IFC movie. What's the year on that? Is it like 2015?
Oh, yeah,
16?
it could be.
Kindred says 2010.
I have that. Screen Factory put that out.
Really?
It was an IFC title.
All right, the name of the one I'm talking about that's I always thought could be a good one is called Bedfellows. That's the name of the short that he did. That I remember when that hit the internet, I was like, "Holy shit! Like this thing needs to be like a movie."
Let me get this real quick. Akeem with a $4.99. Thank you so much, Big Dog. He says we were on strike today at Disney Studios. It's getting crazy out here in the film industry.
Yeah,
Akeem, we're all in your corner, brother.
Mhm.
Akeem's a hardworking dude, and I know he's struggling right now. So, brother, we're in your corner, and we hope you guys get what y'all deserve. So, best of luck with all that, and know that the public, we're on your side, man.
Sure.
Yeah, I heard the Oppenheimer cast walked out of the premiere today over in the UK because the
they have
strike
to.
started. Yeah,
Yeah, they have to.
it's insane, man.
Sean Clark was talking about like
Yeah.
active workers, and it could be detrimental to convention stuff right now.
Yeah, they said it could be like the rest of the year too, or something like that, because they can't do promo events and stuff, which would be conventions, which would suck.
Right. I think that he found like loopholes kind of with it, but I mean, it is crazy because a lot of, even though there might be loopholes, a lot of actors want to play it even like really safe. So they'll back out, and it kind of, it does suck, as a whole, but there was a lot of conventions coming around my area. And one of the big ones I was like waiting to meet is, oh my God, friggin' Sam Raimi. And I'm thinking to myself, like, oh no, like, is he going to bounce? And then that's going to be it, but
I feel he definitely wouldn't be there.
Nah. So
he's too big.
I don't know.
Yeah,
what's
I feel
going
like
to
he'd
happen.
leave. Yeah.
Is anybody gonna not make me feel like a fat ass?
All right,
double up?
fine.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Cody.
I've already had 2. How many have you guys had?
I'm still
only
my
have-
first one, man. I'm slacking here.
My second
Oh,
one.
wow.
Come on, Garrett.
I want to get to Lucio Fulci in a second, Christian. I see everybody in the chat talking about the Beyond and stuff, but before we do that, we were talking about possession movies, and I feel like this is a cosmic horror film if there's anything related to exorcism. And Exorcist 3 to me is cosmic horror, is it not? Would you? Because in the same way Prince of Darkness is. I know it's heaven and hell and stuff like that, but it's more so. It's more than just an exorcism film like the first movie. It really feels like you're dealing with elements beyond comprehension, beyond control. Am I wrong, or am I just remembering that wrong?
It's not that I want to disagree with you, because believe me, if we did a show called Let's Talk Exorcist 3 once a week, I'd be early every time. But I feel like there's no mystery to it. That's just me. It's the devil.
Mhm.
I guess that's how I feel about it. You know
Right.
what I mean?
I can see that.
That's the
I
devil.
can see that.
And it's because it's funny because I saw other people mentioning other George C. Scott films like The Changeling, but isn't that just a ghost story?
I would consider that straight supernatural, but that movie, just to throw this out there, that movie really effed me up as a kid. There was something so scary about that movie.
I had to learn to love it.
Mm.
I don't know why. You just got to put your phone down and turn the lights off when you watch The Changeling. It's one of those movies you have to.
It's slow. It's not, it's not in your face all the time. It's like it's a long drawn out story, and some people don't have the patience for that.
Some people might disagree. JG said he wanted to mention Exorcist 3.
I can see the argument both ways, for sure.
Yeah. Garrett, do you still have some DVDs pulled to the side?
The only one I haven't shown yet was the From Beyond.
Yes.
Hold on, time out.
Absolutely.
Is From Beyond better than Reanimator?
I'd say no, but it's close. Reanimator is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. I don't think there's many I can put above it. I will put Phantasm above it, personally, but
okay, that's fair.
I wouldn't put From Beyond.
Cody, have you seen both of those yet, or how do you feel about it?
I like the
take it. Oh, I'm sorry, you were chewing. My bad.
I like the
Barbara Crampton scene.
Yeah. I've only seen the Beyond once, and I like the Reanimator better.
What's funny is I saw the From Beyond in the theater this year at Panic Fest with Barbara Crampton in the audience. And it was funny because those scenes came up and she's just sitting there watching and all those scenes are going on. I was like, this is so weird.
I mean, she's luckily proud of that body, man.
Everybody was respectful. So
Saturn Video says From Beyond is Barbara Crampton's finest hour.
I could say she had in my opinion, a bigger role than she did in Reanimator. It almost seemed like Reanimator was like her debut, and this was kind of like her a little bit more like seasoned.
I agree, but dude, here's the difference. I've seen From Beyond like 15 times, and I've seen Reanimator maybe double that. 15 times is still a lot. I can't tell you what the name of his character is in From Beyond, but I watched it one time and I never forgot the name Herbert West.
That's right. You know what's funny? I just watched it too. I don't remember the name of his character.
I think Herbert West is one of the greatest characters I mean, come on.
That's
how I feel. That's how I feel.
Ben Grimm, I missed that opportunity, man. I choked, bro.
Whoa. What happened?
So we got out of the, was it that movie? No, we got out of seeing Evil Dead Rise, and we were just hanging out on the street. It was like me, Justin, Mel, KB, and Barbara Crampton walked over to us, and she just like stopped. She's like, "Hey, how'd you like the movie?" We're like, "Good. How'd you like it?" She's like, "I loved it." And we're like, "Oh, great!" Like da. And then like, of course, Justin's like, "Dude, we gotta get a picture," you know. And I was like, "Yeah, we gotta get one." But then it was weird because like I'm not used to being in that situation. I'm used to just like conventions or whatever. And she's literally like having a conversation with us at like, it was probably 12:30 at night in the middle of Kansas City downtown. She's by herself. And then all of a sudden we were just like chatting. She's like, "You'll be back tomorrow?" I'm like, "Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow." She's like, "All right, you're going to come see the show from Beyond?" I'm like, "Of course we'll be there." And she's like, "All right, we'll see you. I'll see you then." And she starts walking away. And she's walking down the street by herself at 12:30 at night in the middle of Kansas City. And I look at Justin and them and I'm like, should I like ask her if she needs to walk to her car, or is that going to be weird? Like, and then we just ended up watching her walk to her car to make sure she got there safe. But I'm thinking, why is nobody with her? Like, it was just so weird. She was all by herself, like walking to the city at 12:30 at night. And then,
wow.
Part of me was like, should we ask her to walk into her car? But then I was like, I don't want to
a group of guys walking.
Yeah, like I didn't want her to get more freaked out, right? Like we had a good conversation. Maybe we just leave it alone, you know. But we watched her to make sure she was okay. But and again, Jacob said she does not look her age. She still looks fantastic.
She's beautiful. Yeah,
and she's got a couple projects coming out, so I'm really excited for that. Well, who knows now when they're coming out, but
I like that movie she did a couple years ago called Jacob's Wife.
That's really the vampire flick, right?
Yeah.
I love that movie. So, where are we going next, guys?
I see a lot of people in the chat. Unless somebody else has something, I'll continue.
Yeah,
Cody, you.
Yeah, I do. What about The Guardian?
No.
Okay.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Cody. I love The Guardian.
I love The Guardian too. That's another one nobody talks about much. With
Dude,
the tree, right?
Yeah, with the tree. Yeah, it's funny. I kept getting this over and over again. They're like, "Dude, if you like Hand the Rocks to Cradle, you're gonna love The Guardian." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I watched it, and I was like, "Okay, there's like 15% Hand the Rocks to Cradle in there, and the rest is that shit crazy." But I did like it.
That's a great one. I didn't watch that till a couple years ago. That's Friedkin, right?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking up screenshots from the movie. I have not seen this movie since I was a kid, I don't think.
It's like 1990.
Yeah, the screenshots are absolutely giving me like an acid flashback. So is the poster art.
Yeah, that movie that was on DVD. That was very, very hard to come by on DVD for a long time. And then that's why when Screen Factory put it out, everybody was excited because the DVD was just so hard to get. I think it was Anchor Bay, but it kind of came and went.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think when the movie initially came out, it kind of like ruined his name for a while. I think the director William Friedkin, because it just like people were expecting the Exorcist,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then they got this tree movie.
Friedkin don't repeat himself. That's one of goddamn. I just feel like William Friedkin doesn't fear anybody. Like he gives me that impression. Like he does exactly what he wants.
He does. You're right. He doesn't. He does exactly what he wants, and I think that is sometimes a problem, and that's why there's some issues with him and Kino right now, and that's why we're not going to get Bug, which could also be kind of cosmic horror, I think. Which I would love to have gotten that on like a 4K or whatever. I think that movie's really cool.
I never saw it, and I'm surprised too, because that's like the time when I was like spending every day at the theater. I'd save up my lunch money and go to the theater.
Did you like that one, Christian? Did you see Bug?
No, I haven't seen Bug. I need to see that.
Brandon?
I have not seen it, no.
What's the name of that main actor in that? He's really good.
Michael Shannon.
Yeah, Michael Shannon. He does fantastic in that movie.
I've seen Killer Joe. I think my favorite Friedkin film.
Yeah.
I think if you were going to point a gun to my head, I'd either say Cruising or To Live and Die in L.A.
Live and Die in LA is great.
Yeah. I think Live and Die in LA might be my favorite. Great soundtrack too. But neither here or there. Brandon, where are we going, brother?
I see two really good examples in the chat, but I want to get to Fulci first because I've been sort of dying to talk about Fulci.
Are you kidding me?
I think the first thing I want to talk about is The Gates of Hell, aka City of the Living Dead.
The better time.
When I first watched that movie, I thought it was going to be a zombie flick, right? I think everybody does. You assume that when you see the VHS cover.
Oh, you
look
got
at that. Look at that beautiful thing.
Hang on, Garrett. Show
I
me
wish
the
it said Gates of Hell. That's what I wish.
Brandon, don't worry about it. I got you. You'll get it. So that's I'm a fan of the side loaders like that too. That's very Vinegar Syndrome-esque.
It is. That's nice.
I'm trying to see.
That's very nice.
They have the Gates of Hell reverse art.
Is it the theatrical art? Is it theatrical poster?
Yeah, Gates of Hell one.
Dude, yes.
Oh, okay.
Brandon.
Yes, that's the money right there.
Look at that.
Who's in the back right there? Let me see the guy in the back real quick.
He's hanging.
Oh, it's the priest. Okay.
Hanging around.
Yeah. Dude, look at that Look at that poster, man.
I mean, Garrett, are you a fan? I know it's like a really silly thing to mention, but are you a fan of the Cauldron logo? You see how it's pretty prominent on there too?
It's okay. I mean, I think as a whole, I don't, but I think on the spine, it's okay because it's just a little triangle. It's not too bad, but when you look at the back, it's all right. I think they could have probably did something a little bit more obscure, like I don't know. It's okay. There's something they just released. Rat Man. So that's coming out.
Yeah, I saw that. The only thing I can say about and now we'll get back on topic, guys. I promise. The only thing I can say that's cool about the Cauldron logo, it reminds me of the old, kind of like back in the day, those you've got your midnight videos and your wizard video logo.
It does.
Yeah,
it's
you're
very
right.
wizard video. Yeah.
So in that sense, I really like it.
It's almost clip arty or something like that.
If I could get if they make a Cauldron video T-shirt with the big, I'd get one. I think it's old school and I like it, but
is Cauldron relatively new? Because I haven't really heard of them before, unfortunately.
Yeah, they're actually done by the guys at Diabolic. That's their company. So
yeah,
Diabolic guys. And there's actually I haven't been following like their library. I have a couple films from them, but one of them, I think it was their first release, called American Rickshaw, is actually a freaking awesome movie if you guys haven't got that one. So yeah, it's really cool. It's basically like almost kind of reminds me of like a Big Trouble in Little China type movie.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's really cool.
All right, Brandon, like I told you, when I get my 4K copy, I'll give you this.
Oh, you're the man. Look at that. Yes. Dude, the gate, that's that's fantastic.
Can we talk about this movie though? Because
I want to talk about it. I think it's a very good example of cosmic horror, and it's Fulci, no less.
And really quick, I'm so happy we have 130 eager students of cosmic horror in here. If you could drop a like and give Cody a compliment, it would really mean the world to me.
Roundhouse kick that like button. That's all I need, guys.
Brandon, I mean, you guys tell me about it. I mean, where do you want to start? Is City of the Living Dead? I don't know if it's everybody's favorite. It's not my favorite, but like to deny that's in his top probably 3 would be to lie, is how I feel how good City of the Living Dead is.
I mean, especially once you get into the mindset that this is not a zombie film. It's a supernatural horror film, or in this case, a cosmic horror film. You can enjoy it for what it is, I think, immensely.
It's painful too. It's just
that movie's so insane. And again, like the zombies, if you want to call them that, they're puking up their own intestines. They're making people bleed from their eyes, and all that kind of crazy stuff's happening. That movie feels so cosmic horror because you don't really know what's going on. It's supernatural. It's ethereal. It's otherworldly. I feel like that's a perfect example of the horror of cosmic horror. You know what I mean? Like it's a great example. So is The Beyond, but we'll get there.
I feel like Fulci. What I love about Fulci is he just doesn't operate in reality when making movies. It's like it doesn't matter. Like reality, it's a non-factor. Like I feel like there's never a moment in some of his movies where he's like, what would logically, if he's like storyboarding stuff or he's working on stuff, I feel like he never would say to himself, what would logically happen as a reaction to this or a reaction to this or this. He just like, I feel it's like his movie, City of the Living Dead to me is like just a fucking nightmare. The whole movie is. And my favorite scene, I got fucking goosebumps watching it. The hair in the back of my neck stood up when that guy's in the cemetery and he hears in the background and he keeps thinking, is somebody in that casket yelling at me? For some reason, that's one of my biggest fears. Remember that time we were doing that stream and I was just walking by that cemetery by the house? I've always been like, holy shit, what if I heard something?
Yeah.
What do I do? Do I start digging it up? What if somebody sees me? Dude, that's the kind of stuff I dream about. I have nightmares about. So that scene resonated with me big time. But yeah, like Johnny said, just surreal.
Absolutely surreal.
Fucking surreal, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a masterpiece of a film. With that said, would you guys consider The Beyond cosmic horror? Or is that more just straight supernatural? Hey, Cody, you're dark. What's going
I
on?
know.
It's
my
like
light went out.
Cosmic Cody over there.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, roll with it, brother. You're great.
We just see the teeth and the beard and the silhouette. It's pretty good.
Yeah, my light's restarting. I don't know.
Cosmic Cody.
I feel like I'm on a CNN interview and then flashed up the room. Yeah, it should be restarting up here. Hopefully.
Lights out.
It's because I was talking about it. Cody's like,
I know. See me just getting taken away.
I feel like I feel like you could argue the majority of Fulci's stuff is fucking cosmic.
Mhm.
I don't understand any of it half the time. I can't explain it.
Yeah,
I'd almost argue more so The Beyond than City of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
Because The Beyond is just fucking wild.
The Beyond is batshit crazy. It's batshit crazy.
Especially the bodies that just they're horizontally just levitate out of the ground under that crawl space in that house. Good God.
I have a weird DVD release of that film called 7 Doors of Death, and it has like a mummy's face on the cover. It was the most bizarre thing I saw at FYE one time, and I bought it. I didn't realize it was The Beyond until way later. So that was my real introduction to watching that film for the first time.
That's probably a pretty rare edition to have, to think about it.
I'm gonna look.
Yeah, luckily I kept it. It's one of the DVDs I still have, so that's cool.
7 Doors.
7 Doors of Death.
What do you guys think of that movie Altered States?
Oh,
I
dude,
haven't seen that movie.
fucking incredible. I watched that. I bought a Blu-ray of it, and unfortunately, I was bummed out when I looked it up because there was no special edition that I knew of, just a regular Blu-ray. But I saw again. People kind of, and granted, look, I've never claimed to be any sort of expert. I'm always trying to find new stuff. But like, some people would say, like, dude, In Search of Darkness, it's the run of the mill, blah blah blah. For part 1. I could probably agree. Although part 1 gave me my love for Full Moon High. That's a whole other story. But like in part 2, I was watching it and I was like, Altered States, write that down. Blah, 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 write this down. The Entity. And so I watched Altered States. That's gnarly.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody said that it's the cut version, but I don't know.
It might be. Yeah, it might be.
What's
if that's the
rated?
case, then I haven't seen the uncut because I don't have the Blu-ray of this.
I've never seen that edition ever.
Isn't that bizarre? Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely bizarre. It was like $8 at FYE brand new. So that's already bizarre. So
But anyway, yeah, with not Entity, with Altered States, that movie, when I saw it on In Search of Darkness 2, I was like, I don't know why I haven't seen this, but I'm fixing this instantly. And that movie is a solid A-, at least. I mean, that movie kicked my ass. I loved it.
Mm-hmm. It's wild.
You know.
Before we move on to the last couple things, I kind of want to ask you guys if you would consider this it's a zombie film, but it's definitely weird. Would you consider Cemetery Man a cosmic horror film in any stretch of the way?
Since I've seen that, man.
Because this is a batshit crazy movie.
It is, for sure.
And like,
I don't
what
know.
the hell happened? What is the ending about? I can't even tell you exactly what the hell is going on there. Like the friend's alive again, and like there's no real. It's like, what the fuck? Like, this is batshit insane. Is it cosmic horror? I don't know. I don't know.
My good answer would be no, but I don't know what to call it either.
I don't know what to call it either.
I just know it's
seen it.
fucking incredible. That movie is the first 10 minutes
Mm.
just knock you on your ass. So much shit happens. I love that. That needs a really nice release. It has some Blu-rays under Della Morte Della More from some label, some like
Didn't Severin do that or no?
no.
They didn't
I would have it if they did. And if they did do it, it was years ago and went out of print a long time ago. So
I thought they announced a 4K. They haven't announced anything new for Cemetery Man. I could have sworn I saw
yet.
something recently about it. I guess not.
no, it would break the internet if it did. At least on a smaller scale in our world. But Big K Movies and Games, thank you so much. Hey boys, is Brandon keeping it dirty? Brandon's hosting tonight. He's doing a great job.
Brandon
appreciate
keeping
it.
it clean tonight, I believe.
Thank you, Big
Pretty
K.
clean. Pretty clean. I'll get filthy afterwards when the camera stops. I'll
only
dig
had
into
one
like 10
brownie.
more brownie packs, and I'll take a stroke, and I'll call you guys from the hospital. And
Brandon, this movie, I hate to chime in, but I have seen Event Horizon mentioned at least 10 times.
yes,
At
that's what I
least
was going to
10
get to. We need to talk about Event Horizon. Like it might be blatant, but I think that's the prime example of cosmic horror on everybody's mind,
times.
first and foremost. Absolutely.
I love that movie to death. I wish we could see this, whatever it's X-rated cut or unrated cut.
Mhm.
I've heard about it, but even so, there's some shocking stuff in the R-rated cut of Event Horizon.
Yeah,
and it's interesting. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed it, but Sam Neill has done a number of flops that are really good movies.
Mhm.
In the Mouth of Madness,
Was that a
Event
flop?
Horizon. In the Mouth was, yeah. The
Yeah,
only
really?
thing, the only movie that was profitable that John did in the 90s, besides Body Bags, because that was like just like a deal thing with Showtime, was Vampires in 98. The only reason Vampires was a success was because it did exceptional overseas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which Vampires is great. But
It's fantastic.
he did Event Horizon, which was not a critical success. He did In the Mouth of Madness, and then he did Memoirs of an Invisible Man, which is fucking incredible. And
It's
he's
a great movie.
And that movie tanked harder than,
Sadly, I mean, it's a real good movie. I think if more people saw it, it would get a lot more respect because it is really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Village of the Damned.
That could be
Yeah.
cosmic to me. Like, what
It
the
could.
fuck is that about?
It could be cosmic, yeah.
Mhm.
Cody, which version do you prefer? The 90s remake or like the old black and white?
He likes the
90
Johnny one.
I like the Johnny. Yeah. I was a huge Christy Alley fan when I was a little kid.
I
had the biggest crush on her.
I like Luke Skywalker getting cooked on
Yeah.
the grill. That's my favorite scene of that movie.
And what's his name's last movie before he was paralyzed?
Oh, Christopher Reeves?
Christopher Reeves, yeah.
Really?
Oh,
I forgot he was even in that.
Yeah.
That poster was iconic, man. That it was almost like grayscale, except the eyes were yellow, I think, right?
Yeah.
Like the three kids sort of stretched. Yeah, that's a crazy 90s flashback right there, man.
I got
That
the
poster.
I have the one sheet of that. It was only like $9. Nobody
God damn
wanted
it,
it.
Fauci.
That's sweet.
Happy birthday, Fauci.
Well,
Happy birthday, you rat son of a bitch.
Oh yeah, it's Friday. This is his birthday.
Fauci's watching everything right now. Ice Fauci. Happy birthday, Fauci. We love you, brother.
I do agree with Josh. I think Under the Skin is probably
Oh, yeah.
cosmic horror for sure. That's a freaking weird movie, man.
They just remade that for American audiences, correct? There was a new one that came out, or am I thinking of something else?
Is that with Antonio Banderas?
No, it's what's her name in it?
Naomi.
Naomi
yeah,
Watts.
it's a famous actress. What's her name?
Well, Naomi Watts. That's what she has a company where she takes movies from other places and then she remakes them.
Yeah, because that was like a French film or something, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, Under the Skin is. I'm sorry, Under the Skin is Scarlett Johansson from
That's what it
2013.
was.
What am I thinking of?
Okay.
I'm thinking of something else. There's a movie that came out where she's like bandaged up.
Oh yeah,
like
that's
the kids
called.
are afraid of her. Is it called
It's Mommy.
Mommy or something like that? It's not called Mama, I don't think.
Good Night, Mama. Good night.
Mama.
Yeah.
or something, yeah.
Like they just
Good Night,
remade
Mama.
it as like an American movie with the Naomi Watts chick, I think.
Yeah.
Is Under the Skin good?
Oh, yeah.
It's a good movie. It's just very very strange for sure. It's one of those, like you said, I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah. Ricky, thank you again, man, with a $9.99 super chat. I appreciate that. Thoughts on Dario Argento's Demons 1 and 2?
Both great.
I want to say I hate to be that guy, but I just want you to know this, Ricky. Give credit to Lamberto. He directed those movies, Dario. And if I actually read an article, Ricky, that Dario had even less to do with 2, but would publicly take credit for the films on publicity tours and stuff like that in interviews where they had a very nasty relationship. But a lot of those Italian guys hate each other, Ricky. You can understand that. Everything was like Goodfellas. But guys, y'all want to talk about that for a second? Is that I kind of agree with Brandon on 2 for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of on 1 too. Like, what the hell is it? It's like Evil Dead, zombie, demon, possession. I mean, they don't explain it. It's got good music in it though.
Yeah, well, I would say with an MTV soundtrack,
Right.
you know.
It's definitely at least supernatural, but the fact that they're like coming through the TV and there's like the weird mask and shit in the first movie, it's very strange. Like, what exactly is happening? What's the goal of this evil, force? I guess it could be considered cosmic horror, maybe on a lesser scale.
Let me ask you guys this: which one's the better Demons film?
I like the setting of the second one.
See, I was gonna say 1.
I feel like 1 is the fan favorite, right?
Definitely.
Like it's probably a better made movie too, I guess you could say.
I just think 2 is like the equivalent of like a Nightmare on Elm Street 4 tone wise to me, and it's got the cult in it.
Yeah,
like the soundtrack for 2 I really, really love.
It feels kind of trashy. I love Demons 2 is so damn good.
Garrett, I always figured you'd be one of those guys that would have the promotional blow up TV for Demons 2. Like, you know what I'm talking about? It's got I don't.
I have the ticket, the Interpol ticket or whatever.
Interpol ticket.
Yeah, I have that, but no blow up TV.
Damn. I used to see it all the time on eBay when I would just try. I wanted to get that I want to get that Friday the 13th 5 promotional lamp. And for some reason, that Demons 2 thing would always show up on eBay. I could have got it cheap too.
I know nowadays though, that's like when I thought it was like a little expensive, like, oh, this Friday the 13th thing I want it, but it's $50, right? Like nowadays, I would have like that thing would already be at my house, but now it's like that thing is hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Same with a lot of those like standees and stuff. It's hard to get any of that stuff now.
Yep, brutal. But yeah, where else are we going, guys? We're at 1 hour and 22, so we'll go another 10 minutes or so.
This is an obvious one, right?
Fuck you for having that Steelbook number 1. I want that thing so bad. Now, did you pre-order that? You had
you know what? I missed it, and I whined about it on a stream, and someone sent it to me.
Dude, I can't believe we haven't talked about the thing earlier.
Chat, if you can hear the sound of my voice. That's one of my favorite Steelbooks, man. I don't even own it, but
Garrett's gonna get a second one sent to him.
Take it away, Brandon.
I was just going to say that we don't really know what the creature's motives are. We don't know where it comes from. We don't even really know if it has like we know it can like mimic people and stuff, but does it really have a goal? Or is it just its nature? So I definitely think it definitely falls into cosmic terror, cosmic horror.
There's almost something about the thing to me where you could argue that it acted. I almost feel like, what if it acted the way it did, all in just defense, like it wasn't supposed to even come to Earth or something.
Right. It could be afraid of us, basically, right? It could be horrified, technically. Is it even conscious? That's what I want to know. Or just sort of like operating like a cockroach. You know what I mean? Like that's scary, man. That's frightening. Yeah, but I never want to know the answers, though. I never want to see a prequel that explains it.
I mean, it's such a. I mean, The Thing is just one of those movies that it's like there's not many movies that come around like that. And as much as it was a quote unquote remake per se, it's just there's something special about that movie, man. You watch it and you're like, man, there's nothing like this. Yeah. Wild.
Absolutely.
And then
go ahead, Cody.
I'll say I feel like if that's cosmic horror, then the movie Maniac mentioned Faculty, and I feel like that's just like a remake of that movie.
Faculty's fun. That's a nice little just a spotlight during that time too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah. What about
Ooh,
is that?
I've never seen Slither.
Oh, you love Slither.
Yeah.
Ooh, Fulci likes The Thing. That's a good one. He doesn't like anything.
Nice. I think I'm not trying to just troll. Like, for me, legitimately, there's no questions asked to me. I think The Thing is John's greatest cinematic achievement he's ever done. I understand why Halloween is always going to be his masterpiece, but to me, The Thing is goddamn. If somebody told me The Thing's the best horror film ever made, I'm probably just going to be like, yeah.
I agree. I don't think that's even something you could really argue and debate, though. I think as a whole, if someone said that, I could be like, I could see that for sure.
Yeah. It felt like that's like, to me, like The Thing was John in a part of his career where like he was like, he worked hard, came up with a great debut album. He gets signed. He gets on the road. He's full of piss and vinegar, and then he comes out with, I don't know. He comes out with
Metallica Black.
like $1 billion babies, like this his biggest record, and then after that, good stuff, but just never got that high again. Never sold that many records again in terms of quality of a movie.
I kind of really agree with that. I mean, I think his library is super strong, but I think it's also niche in a way too. Like, I think for me, like, I love a lot of almost everything he's done, but I don't think the average person, like he even said, I mean, I look at Big Trouble in Little China and I think to myself, this is a freaking almost like a masterpiece, but it freaking it bombed for him, right?
Yeah, it's
Like,
crazy
that was
because
a big flop.
That's Cosmic Horror, Brad.
I mean,
what is that meatball floating?
That's actually a good question, dude. That's actually a good question. But my thing about John Carpenter is, like, besides The Thing and Halloween, he's done so many movies that are absolute cult favorites, huge followings, right? But I feel like the average person, if you said, let's watch Big Trouble in Little China or They Live, a lot of people would be like, what are you talking about? What is that? But those movies have such devoted fan bases. It's insane to me. It's insane to me, the kind of followings those movies have now.
You know, it's got to be crazy to be in a movie like that and be kind of like, not shunned, but like, you know, people like, oh, that was crap for 20 years. Then all of a sudden have it be like a huge hit all of a sudden. And they're like, that's got to be weird for like these people at conventions. Like when they were at the conventions in the 90s, you know, nobody was in their line and now they have 1,000 people waiting to meet them. You know, that's got to be very surreal.
I mean, how do you guys feel about Big Trouble in Little China? Are you guys fans of that? Because like I said, to me, you watch that and I think to myself that this is just something like I've never seen before. And I thought for a fact, like that was a huge hit because it just felt like everything kind of worked and it was just very unique for its time. And it boggles my mind that was so poorly received.
Yeah, it feels big and bombastic, and I haven't seen it in years and years and years, so I really need to reassess it. But as a kid, I remember getting it mixed up. And for whatever reason, I've said this on the stream before, I used to get that movie and Toxic Avenger 2 mixed up. I don't know why. I just did. But I remember really enjoying Big Trouble in Little China. There was something about those two movies, though, that maybe I was watching them at the same time or what it was. But I think in part 2 of Toxic, he goes to Japan or something, right?
See,
so maybe I
haven't watched that in a long time.
Something about that was similar to me at the time. But with that said, we were talking about Carpenter. And I know he didn't direct this movie, but do you think Halloween 3 Season of the Witch could be considered cosmic horror?
Ooh.
I mean, it's the Silver Shamrock Company. They're stealing Stonehenge.
Yeah.
I mean, what is that? I mean, we know the motive of Cochrane, but to me, the evil force is pretty unknowable, right? Like that's cosmic horror. I feel like out of all the
bugs coming out of the mouth, the snake.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a goddamn video essay unto itself, actually.
You should be getting these ideas right now for some video essays.
Yeah.
You should do a whole cosmic horror series. I actually think what you guys should do is you should take the way this says Cosmic Brownies on here and use the same logo and just write Cosmic Horror with the little like sprinkles all over the place and make a shirt.
I love it.
I think you should do.
And you guys, instead of Little Debbie, it needs to be Little Brandon.
Oh, dude, I love it.
With the little mustache.
But just the face Photoshop. I'll keep the hat and the hair from that image.
Exactly.
Dude, I love it. I love that.
I think Cosmic Horror should be a shirt, to be honest with you.
It really should. There was one more movie I really wanted to touch on. I've seen it a couple times in the chat because I know we're getting to be like an hour and a half. I don't want to keep you guys too late. But The Lighthouse. I feel like that's a great example of contemporary cosmic horror.
It's funny. I have that and it's still sealed. I've never watched it.
I've never seen it.
Because I've heard so much like from one end, I heard people say like it's brilliant, and on the other end, I heard it was like the biggest piece of garbage. So I'm like kind of almost afraid to watch it because I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to like this or absolutely hate this thing. So I still haven't watched it yet.
It's really hard to say. This is going to sound bizarre. I saw it right after it came out on Blu-ray. I loved it. Then Sydney wanted to watch it. And then I was just like, I have no desire to watch this ever again.
Yeah.
I literally teetered from one end of the spectrum all the way to the other.
That's how I am. And this is going to be, people are going to hate me for saying this. That's how I am with It Follows. I loved It Follows.
That's fucking cosmic horror.
Same. It is. Yeah.
I saw it in theaters, thought it was really cool.
Yep.
And then my friend wanted to watch it at home, and I watched it. I thought it was all right. And
really?
Another friend wanted to watch it again. I was like, I can't stand this movie. I can't watch it again.
I've seen it once and I enjoyed it. I think I saw it at the theaters, and I've had no desire to watch it again.
Yeah.
And when it comes to The Lighthouse, I mean,
Oh,
I saw it on
nice.
streaming at home. I saw it one time. I enjoyed it. I don't know if I would call it brilliant, Garrett, or not, but it's definitely not a piece of crap. Like, it was worth seeing, and I definitely think it's batshit insane. But it's not the best thing I've seen either. It's not something I'll.
It's an experience.
It's definitely an experience.
I wouldn't go. Did you get the Arrow set, or did you have the Blu-ray that you got years ago when it came out, Garrett?
Me?
Of The Lighthouse?
Oh, I just have the Blu-ray that came out years ago. It
I-
was like I think I got it on Black Friday for like $5, so I
Yeah,
grabbed it.
I would not recommend buying. Like,
I wasn't.
I mean, no disrespect, because like Ken is the man, and mid-level media Ken, and he reviews stuff, and he's a world guy. But like, I saw him get it and other people, and I just was saying to myself, I was just like, "There's no way you're gonna get your money's worth out of that thing." That's not a movie you'll ever say to yourself. In my opinion, that's just not a movie you're gonna say to yourself, "I want to watch The Lighthouse today." It's just not. That's my opinion.
It is hard to watch a little
But
bit.
it's a movie lovers kind of film. But I just think it's an experience, and that's
Mhm.
probably why I'll never watch it again, if I'm being honest.
That's how I feel. And this isn't horror, but The Whale. I thought that was a great movie. I loved it, but I don't think I will ever want to see it again.
I've heard that was great, but batshit depressing. I heard it was absolutely depressing.
That's another one that I have that it's still sealed. I haven't got myself to watch it yet.
You got to
because
watch The Whale.
because
He won the
I've heard
Oscar,
about
man.
it. I know he did.
Yeah.
I
Really
love
quick,
Brendan.
really quick. Ricky Hogan, thank you for another $4.99. Can we discuss In the Mouth of Madness in the world of cosmic horror? I tuned in late, so it's been discussed. We did, Ricky. We talked all about it. I do appreciate the super chat, so I'm not trying to just move past it. But yes, we did cover it, and for the sake of moving the show along, I just go back and check that out. But thank you very much, Ricky. I really appreciate you. And thank you, Josh Nitch, for the $2 super chat. Have you seen Wounds on Hulu? Creepy and ambiguous. Thank you very much. I have not seen Wounds.
Me either.
No.
But somebody brought up a movie that's one of us. Oh, It Follows. So I think you're nuts, Cody. I think It Follows is all that and a bag of chips. I love it
Damn.
more every time I see it.
He's
So
trolling you, Cody.
I'm just wondering, what is it about that movie that you think? What is it that turns you on or off, so to speak?
Well, that's the thing. Like I said, I saw it. I liked it a lot. And then I just didn't want to see it again. Same with like Babadook. I liked it the first time. The second time, I absolutely hated it.
Fucking hate that movie.
And
I agree with you on that one.
So the Babadook, I never ever want to see again. It Follows, I might be able to see in a couple of years.
I think it's got good music. I like the lead, that broad, cute girl,
I love her.
Yeah.
From It Follows.
and the guest.
Yep. Yeah,
So-
I do as well. But yeah, I have to agree with Christian. I saw It Follows twice in the theater. I liked it so much, and I never do that. But and then I bought it on DVD on Blu-ray, liked it again, and then I haven't seen it since. So I did pre-order that new edition that just came out. So that's the one I have too. Yeah.
Wow.
It was filmed in the neighborhood I'm from in Michigan.
Really? Oh, that's cool, man.
Don't you like the? It's weird. I like that in that movie. They kind of like those movies that kind of Rob Zombie likes to do this sometimes too, where it's like there's no sense of time, but there kind of is, but then there's not, because the girl has like a seashell,
Yeah.
Mm.
Like a
Kindle or
non-existent piece of
something.
technology. Yeah.
you know. And
Doesn't the television look weird in that film too?
Yeah, it's like very old school, but then she has like a cell phone kind of deal.
Yeah, there was some things where you weren't sure. Yeah, what year this was taking place and stuff like that. Yeah, kind of like Texas Chainsaw 3D.
Right.
Just like
I love It Follows though. I really probably should grab that chunky edition that Second Sight put out, but I might try to take it easy with those chunky editions, and if I just want the movie on 4K, just wait and get the standard edition of stuff like that. But I do want to get that movie again. I love It Follows. Silent Hill, dude, that's my favorite 2000s horror film.
That's a great
of all
That's
time.
know
one
what's
of the best
funny?
video game movies ever.
I never liked it ever.
Really?
Did you
No.
play the video game or no?
No.
I never played the video game either.
I saw it in theaters once, and I was good with that.
Dude, I've scared the
I love
shit
it.
out of me. I mean, when that I don't see how you guys don't get freaked out when she opens up the bathroom and dude is like this.
Yeah.
And she's got to reach in his mouth to get the key. Dude, I was shitting myself in 2006.
I don't know. When I first saw it in 2006, I was like, "This is so stupid." I felt like the CGI looked terrible, but I never went back to watch it again. So
I think for me, I'd love you to, because when Scream Factory and dude, it scared the piss out of me.
I bought the Scream Factory, but I bought it just to complete my collector's editions. I haven't even opened it yet.
I'd love for you to revisit that. I actually, for me, it's one of my favorite CGI horror films. But I don't think it looks. I think it looks otherworldly. But I would argue that might be part of it, dude. Pyramid Head. Good God, when he rips the broad skin right off of her body,
it's hardcore. Yeah,
maybe I just felt like it felt too fake to me. Maybe like with all those like over the top characters or whatever. I don't know.
I'm surprised they actually made it as bleak and dark as they did. I love that fucking movie.
I love it so much.
I enjoyed the sequel too, though. So I'm one of those guys.
Didn't they make the sequel like 10 years later?
2010, I think.
2010 or 11. I hated Revelation.
Most people hated it. I thought it was enjoyable. It was okay.
You're a son of a bitch.
It was all right. Because I loved Silent Hill 3, and it was based pretty much on Silent Hill 3. That's why I enjoyed it. But definitely, it's nowhere near the quality of the first film.
Does anybody else, guys? We were at an hour and 30. We don't go too long. I really appreciate we have 130 people still with us. You guys have been amazing in the chat. Do you guys have one more movie you kind of want to bring up real quick? Anything else that's kind of
cosmic-y?
About a little Garbage Pail Kids.
Well, I was actually thinking The Brood.
The Brood. Yeah.
The Brood is a great movie. The Mist is a good one. Good job, Blu-ray addict. The Mist could work.
The Mist would work.
That's my favorite ending ever in a horror film.
Oh man, that was brutal. I remember when I saw that, I was like, what the fuck?
I just love how dark it is. And people always complain like, oh, I hate the ending. I was like, no, you don't hate the ending. You hate that it's dark, but that's what the point. It wants you're supposed to feel. Like, I don't think it's bad if a movie pisses you off or it's just like, are you kidding me? That's the intent. You know, it's tragic.
Somebody in the chat mentioned something called Beyond the Black Rainbow. Do you guys know what that is? Have you seen it? Is it cosmic horror?
I don't know.
So I've never heard of it or seen it, but it sounds interesting.
I know what it is, but I've never watched it. It seems very cosmic horror. It seems very almost like it was marketed kind of like the Beyond-esque. It came out of probably about mid-90s. It's actually really funny because the only memory I have of that movie was when it came out. I knew I really wanted it, and Dead Pit radio show was going on, and they were giving a copy away, and I tried so hard to get that free copy from them. Nice. I was like sending in like shit to try to get it, and like I think they had like a contest to win it, and I didn't end up winning it, but I don't think I never went back and grabbed it, so I never ended up seeing it.
Yeah, I've never seen The Mist. I know everything about that movie and how it ends, but I've never actually seen the film. So
now, would you recommend you guys, if he went to go see The Mist now, would you have him watch the black and white, or would you have him watch the regular one?
Regular.
Oh yeah,
man, it's crazy. The theater near my house was just playing the black and white version, and I was going to go see it, but I couldn't.
Of The Mist?
Yeah, of The Mist.
They just like released the film again in black and white, basically, sort of.
Yeah, and I think the Blu-ray has both cuts on it.
It does. Yeah.
Does it feel like a different experience? Like, is it that much different? Because I feel like Jason Lives feels different in black and white, stuff like that.
I don't know. Like, I don't remember, because I know with The Mist, there's a lot of CGI in it, and I'm just not sure how it comes off now. And maybe if the black and white helps it, I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah,
Brandon. So
I do need to check it out. I'm curious.
I went to this website, like just talking about cosmic horror, and I saw this in the chat, and I just want to bring it up in the event that if any of you guys have seen it, I loved it. It was called The Ritual, came out in 2017.
I have not seen it, no.
I don't think I've seen it.
Oh, guys, when I really don't like to overinflate stuff when I'm really excited about it. So this movie is incredible. It's like a Blair Witch type movie. These four guys go and like hiking in the woods, and they stay in this cabin. And when they stay in the cabin, like all of them get almost possessed by this demon-like entity, and then this horrid monster demon thing starts attacking them. It was incredible. I bought a DVD overseas because it's a Netflix movie, believe it or not.
I do remember when that came out, actually. I think they used to have like an image of guys hiking on like a mountain or something.
Dude, oh my God. My wife, who literally hates everything except Lord of the Rings, she watched it with me, and she was like, God damn, this is good. Like, how did I not hear about this? I was like, City, I don't know. I want to say it was Australian, but dude, it's legit. It's really good. Yeah, like Jacob said, it's the real deal. But Brandon, really quick, so that's on there. A lot of stuff that you talked about is on there. Cabin in the Woods was brought up on this website, which I hated that movie the first time I saw it. Then I got over it just because it wasn't what I was expecting. And then I was
that
like,
would absolutely count.
Yeah.
I guess the Evil Dead franchise would count technically too.
Yeah,
in a weird way. Yeah.
And we never talked about this, but you mentioned it in the beginning. It.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, even at a base level, just because of where Pennywise comes from, the void beyond space, I think it's called. But that would be cool actually to have a bit explored in that prequels TV show coming out. Not too much of his backstory, but show something.
I think that's what it is, isn't it? It's like set in the 60s or something.
I think so, and that's cool. I'm excited for it, but I just hate the fact that they haven't announced Skarsgård or not. Like, I want to know for sure, is he going to play Pennywise or not? Because that's who we're invested in now as Pennywise.
Right. I agree.
I know.
Like, I don't want to see somebody else.
I know that they kept people were asking him while he was doing John Wick 4 press stuff, and he said he hasn't heard anything about it. So that doesn't sound good.
And they're filming, right? Aren't they filming, or are they still in pre-production?
I don't know if they're filming, but
you filming now.
You would think he'd be the first person they'd contact.
Exactly, unless he's just keeping it a secret. Maybe I don't know, but I really hope he comes back for it because, like, I loved it, chapter 1 and 2, and he was fantastic. Mm-hmm. So no one's gonna want to watch somebody else play Pennywise again for a third time. You know what I mean? Like, nobody wants to see that crap.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. So.
Ricky asked about Society. Loves Society. Love it. Is it cosmic? I don't know. Could be.
That's the Roach movie, right?
No.
What am I thinking
movie? It's the Butthead movie.
You're thinking of Joe's Apartment.
I love Society too, though.
Is Society about insects, or am I thinking of something else?
No, Society's about sex. Yeah.
Okay. What the hell am I thinking of that has the damn... Oh, I'm thinking of the Nest or something. That's what I'm thinking of. Okay.
The Nest, yeah.
Don't mind me.
The Nest I want to see. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. I think we talked about a lot of stuff tonight. You know?
I saw so many good choices in the chat, too, that we didn't cover, but there's so much to cover. You can't really cover it all without talking about it for 5 hours. So I think we hit all the big nails on the head as far as cosmic horror is concerned.
Yeah, and I think too is that we each kind of found something that we might want to check out again. Mm-hmm. You know, things that we haven't seen in a long time. So it's good that you guys in the chat had brought up all these movies too, because like even the ones I've seen, I'm like, I would love to go watch The Guardian again. It's been a while since I've seen that. You know, stuff.
I want to watch that. I really want to see Possession now, and I have to check out The Void in its full capacity, and also I really want to see Color Out of Space. Yeah, out of this whole stream, I want to see Color Out of Space and The Void. I think the most out of everything.
I think about. Color Out of Space is on Shudder. Do you have Shudder? It was on Shudder last time I was on there.
I don't. But I could. I mean, it's a click away. Yeah.
Well, somebody in the chat earlier said that Possession is also on Shudder, and Joe Bob Briggs did an episode on it, and it's really cool because there's a lot of he gives a lot of behind the scenes stuff with it. So
that's cool.
Thank you, Chris, for the $2 super chat. What's the next episode? Brandon, tell him what the next episode is.
The next episode is actually tomorrow night, and we're doing the Rad 9 Movies That Made Us challenge by the man, the myth, the legend himself, Born to Be Rad, right there. Which is that challenge is going crazy far, Gary. That's an unbelievable,
wild, dude.
Like everybody's doing that challenge. Like people I have never heard before are popping up in my like algorithm. Who are taking the challenge. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Everybody's taking that challenge, man.
I saw.
Oh, you said Cody.
I saw Drum Dums was doing it tonight. He was doing it live.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Get out of here.
Yeah, he said. Yeah, he said he has 18. So it's half to half now and half next time. I saw.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's wild. I had no idea.
Yeah,
he did. Yep, right here, the title: Alien Romulus 9 Rad Movies tag. There we go. There you go, Garrett. That's awesome, man.
Did he tag the Rat Pack or?
I don't think so.
No, just the late.
It didn't go that far. You know, like I people see the tag, but they don't know who it's from. I guess.
Well, it is funny because there are a couple of guys that I saw like in like I'll type in Rad 9 or whatever on those search thing, and there's a couple of people be like, "There's this trend going around YouTube, so I'm gonna jump on it." And like, I don't even know where it came from.
Yeah, it's gonna get to that point where it's gonna get so far that people have no idea where it started, which is so cool.
It's going to be like the horror YouTuber of the month is just going to, a year from now, you're going to look it up and it's going to be like in some
in this weird
spot.
Pocket of like,
there's going to be other guys taking credit for it and stuff like that. Like where it came from.
I'm going to find every one of those things that'll be like, hey, yo, just so you know, I put this out. You know, we put this out.
That's funny, man.
But yeah, that's tomorrow night, Chris. Probably about the same time we started tonight. So
that is so funny. I had no idea that Lee was doing that.
See,
I saw him live too. I didn't realize that's what he was doing though.
I almost sent it to you.
Oh, he did? Lee shouted out the Rad Pack in the stream. I am shocked.
Oh, okay, wow.
Good for him. Yeah.
And if you guys want, you can always go over to my channel, Dude Who Loves Movies, one word, on YouTube, and you can check out my Rad 9 movies that made me.
Check out his Rad 9. Brandon, somebody had a great question for you, real quick.
Brandon, would you dunk cosmic brownies into Ovaltine? I don't think so. Ovaltine's too loose, man. It's got to be something thick, like milkless hot chocolate or something. You know, something like that.
Oh god!
You should do a video where you've got the cosmic brownie and you just got like a thing of butter and you're just doing this. And
oh god, it would probably be delicious. Oh man, it would probably be really good with butter on it, dude.
Like instead of dunking a donut in a coffee, he's just dunking a cosmic brownie in the butter.
Yeah. No, I'll take a bite of the butter stick first, and then take a bite of the brownie, and just have a mix in my mouth and meld. And
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I thought I was gonna eat a lot more brownies than I did, but I had 2, and I was like, I don't know. Then I saw you guys eat another one, so I had 3, but I was tapped out on 3.
They're just not as good as I remember them being, unfortunately.
I think I'm just getting old. You know, my stomach's like, you need real food.
Old and folded, man. Old and folded. No, I have not. But that's a great idea too, man. Milkless hot chocolate. I'll make a video. I'll make a video. It is with water. Yeah.
Anyway,
minimal water at that. It's like a sludge.
If you guys want to let everybody know where they can find y'all, just one more time for the closer. We'll wrap it up. I want to thank everybody for watching, and Brandon, you did a great job tonight hosting.
All right. Appreciate that. Thanks for letting me do that.
Yeah, take it away, guys. Let them know they can find you.
You want to go, dude?
Yeah, sure. I'll go first. I'm Cody from Dude Who Loves Movies on Instagram and YouTube. One word, Dude Who Loves Movies. Tomorrow I have a Dylan's New Nightmare spoiler-free review dropping at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So go up there and check it out. Check out my Rad 9 movies that made me. It's on that channel as well. So go out there and check it out, buddy.
Oh yeah, brother.
And thanks for having me. Oh, also, if you guys want to pick up some Rad Dude merch, Garrett, it's over on Garrett's. Is it TeePublic?
Yeah, it's shop.borntobirad.com. Mm-hmm. You can get your Rad Dude shirt, and we do have another Rad Dudes episode coming out. We're gonna shoot for August, so
nice.
And if you guys do get anything, make sure you post. Take a picture, tag us in it, and we'll repost it.
Definitely.
Yeah. Real quick, we just put a Planet Dirty shirt up on my TeePublic too. Just go to my video descriptions, you can find it.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. Go ahead, Garrett.
I'm Garrett at Born to Be Rad, and also 1/3 of the Rad Pack. So I have 2 YouTube channels. I have the Born to Be Rad channel and the podcast channel, which is called the Rad Pack. And you can find me over there for all things horror, movies, collectibles, and anything nostalgic and rad.
There you go. Hell yeah, brother. Brandon, do you want to promote?
Brandon Tabato at Tabato Vision on YouTube, as always, one half of Planet Filthy. And yeah. I have no new content coming. I have no new content coming right now.
Follow him on YouTube at Brandon Tabato. Follow him on YouTube at Tabato Vision. Follow him at YouTube at Tabato Vision TV. Follow him at YouTube at Tabato Tunes.
There you go. That's not all of them. That's all we'll discuss here.
And
there's more out there. It's Tabato Burgers. Yeah, that's right. Coming soon.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. This was another fantastic show. I had a lot of fun. Catch me and Brandon tomorrow with our Rad 9. I already told Brandon he's only allowed one Halloween, and he obliged. So, no, for real, it's going to be really fun. Check us out tomorrow, same time. And everybody have a great night. Have a great weekend. Be safe, and we love you, and we'll see you next time. Take it easy, guys.